Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to do Marmorino Piatto in a very basic, natural technique. Natural meaning no sealer. So we're going to go get our tools and materials and let's get started. First thing we're going to do to get ready for this finish is prime the surface. Now this is a brand new sheet of drywall, sheetrock, whatever. Ideally on a project, go ahead and prime it with PVA, drywall primer. This is not a drywall primer. This is a primer or base coat for various Lux heavy body plasters. So it's also short filled. So if you want to add a little water to it to dilute it, because the Italians do not believe in selling you water, doesn't make sense to ship water all the way across the world, but it's a little thick, go ahead and put a little water in there, stir it up, and you're ready to go. So we're going to use a microfiber roller. Since it's a brand new roller, we want to make sure we go ahead and de-lint this roller by simply putting some tape down. Yep, there's some lint on there. Better here than on the wall. All right, so now we're finished with that. Always take and just pre-wet your roller a little bit, just a little dunk. And just shake off the excess. Take our anchor primer, let's put it into something else easier to roll. Look how thick it is. All right. Load the roller. And just prime the wall. Now you can see this goes on a lot heavier or thicker than the other primer, which is micro primer, because that's what it's designed to do. These are for the heavy bodied plasters. It's not like painting a wall. You just want to get it on there, okay? You don't have to worry about going top to bottom. Just get it on the surface. 100% coverage. It's okay if it's a little cloudy. Do you need 2 coats? No. One good heavy coat. That's it. That's simple. So let's go. We'll let this dry 100%, completely dry, and then we'll come back and start our technique. Okay, so today we're going to be working with Marmorino Piatto, which is a heavy-bodied, very large diameter aggregate inside of this product. We've already primed it using anchor primer. It's dried overnight. And now it's time to get into Piatto. So when you get the pail, there's a brand new bucket. You cut these little lines open and just peel off the ring, toss it to the side, keep your lid handy, and we're getting ready to go. Now, when you open it, even when you get the color that you want or the product in your hands, after you order it, and the best thing to do is just go to the website, firmlux.com, order the product, and they actually have all the colors that you're looking for right there to make your life a lot easier. And they'll just make it to that, send it out the door. So, we need a trowel, we need our spatula. That's all we need. And we're gonna do a very basic traditional application. This has already been tinted to Sherwin-Williams Pure White. I know it doesn't look pure white. Remember, it dries lighter. So what I'm going to first do is get it on the surface, and I'm going to let it set for a minute, and we're going to do what we call kind of like butter, like icing on the cake, where you put it on, and because of the aggregate, you get all these little chatter marks when it's wet. When it firms up, you'll be able to come back a little bit and just knock some of those down, because chatter marks are also known as being busy. I'm applying this differently, meaning I'm putting the trowel down and pulling up so it comes off, because this is a heavy, thick material. I'm using gravity to my advantage. If I try to come this way, boom, on the floor, all right? We don't want that. It's okay once in a while, but I'm trying to get it on the wall quickly. And then I'll come back. Then I'll come back and just kind of float it out. See, it just dropped. So when you're going this way, gravity's to your friend. If you ever go to Italy and spend some time watching guys plaster, you'll see bottom up. So as you saw, I put it on real quick, and now it's firmed up a little bit. I'm just going to come back and get rid of those chatter marks. That's it for that coat. We're gonna let it dry 100%, come back, do our second application. See you in a bit. Okay, so Piatto, the first coat is completely dried, and as you can see, the color has changed a little bit. We'll get into that more in a second, but let's take that second and do it right now. So let's get some product on here. I'm gonna show you something real quick first. The color, wet to dry. Do not open the can and freak out, or the bucket and freak out. It will dry lighter. Okay, so always just make a dry sample, but that's the biggest thing. Second coat, same as the first. We're just gonna put a nice coat over this whole thing, let it set a minute, maybe a little less than a minute, and then burnish it. So for now, let's get it on. And again, you're noticing I'm taking, because it's a heavy body product, I'm putting it on my trowel, and I'm just putting on from the bottom up, and then come back and adding my interest. Now, the other thing, somebody could be like, well, up and down, fine. All right, if you want to just do it the regular way, you can, but you're not gonna be able to get as much material on here because it's gonna fall. So while this is setting up to burnish, let's go ahead and cover a few things real quick. One, I'm gonna wait longer to burnish it because it's a heavier bodied material. It's thicker, so it's gonna take longer to set up to the point where I can burnish it. This is a very forgiving product, probably one of the most forgiving products, or ease of use, I should say, in the Firmalux family of products. It's heavier, it's thicker. It's gonna go on very beautiful, very soft, very natural. You're not gonna see a lot of movement. It's very, very soft. But we don't want any of these chatter marks. We don't want a lot of movement to it, or I don't say movement, but if you come in and zoom in, you'll see all these lines. Well, I'm gonna use the word compress for this application, not burnish, because typically burnish creates a sheen. We're not gonna get this to be shiny, but we're gonna get it to compress. Okay, so now we're gonna compress it. We're gonna take the trowel, clean trowel, and just see the angle. You want to go up just flatter than a typical burnish angle. And put a little pressure behind it, and that's all there is to it. It flattens out the product. Hear the difference. Listen how smooth the trowel is going across that. Listen to that. If you're, sounds crazy, that's the sound you want to listen for when you're doing this. So you're going to have to be very aware of the product and the tools and the timing. That's it, the basic application of Piatto. We're gonna let this dry, come back and show you what the finish looks like. So we'll see in a little bit. Okay, so there you have it, Piatto. A very, very nice, elegant, simple, also rustic, and forgiving finish. If you're a beginner, someone just starting out, or a DIYer, this is probably the best place for you to start with the product line. Very easy. It's a nice, soft, subtle finish. This is the natural application, meaning there's no sealer or top coat on here. That's something completely different for a different time. But yeah, if you have any questions, make sure you give the folks at Firmalux a call or send them an email, and they'll be happy to help you out. I want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.